material, but when you have the knowledge, you can also assist so many people. So this was what motivated me, being the oldest in the family, trying to assist. Notwithstanding, during that period, when I was having both my even primary school education and high school education, my father's relatives always traveled from the rural areas to come to put pressure on my father to take me out of school, which is some of the problems we are still encountering, retaining girls at school. But my father resisted all forms of pressure and allowed me to attain the highest level that one could obtain in the Gambia. That was Form 6. There on, I was successful enough and lucky enough, I must say, to have a scholarship to go to the United States to study for a degree course, which was also very rare because I came back from United States in 1978 when I was only 22 years old with a bachelor's degree for a woman, especially like I would always say, a Mandinka woman. But at the same time too, I was also affected by this double standard, taking care of domestic chores. And I think it's very good for our viewers, our listeners, especially the young girls, to know that even if you work hard for your parents, that doesn't deter you from doing well in school.
You've been known as an educationist, and if I am right, as a gender activist or somebody who is involved in activities geared towards empowering women. But Sidibe, what actually inspired you? Like you have your degree at a very early stage. You could have been at somewhere else, but no, you decided to get involved with
well,
women endeavors.
Can I guess on that question? You said you were the first child,
Yes.
and you were a girl child, and then you had 4 boys after you.
Yes.
I guess that was the secret behind it.
Okay.
You have to wake up, do the household chores, pound, wash where the boys are sleeping.
Yes.
So that's just something.
Even wash their uniforms. Chara, you just partly answered my question. That was good. Because the question that was posed for me, this is what I was doing. And that sort of motivated. I took up that motherly role. Being the oldest daughter in a family, it's not easy. You take up all these motherly roles, taking care of the younger siblings, whether they are boys or girls. So from that, it becomes natural to you to have that ambition. And I wanted to do something because it's nice to be the first, but you want others to come on board. Then be the first Mandinka girl to receive a university degree. But I wanted other girls to come along because I know the value of education. That's why I have become an educationist. That is why I have become a gender activist and also trying to promote women's rights and trying to empower women so that they also maintain their dignity, because it's emanated from my mother. My mother was not educated, but she didn't sit down and fold her hands. She was doing some petty business, selling porridge. And my father also, I remember, used to go to Sierra Leone, and she used to come with all these jewelries, and my mother used to sell some of those things. So I saw the importance of women not sitting down, folding their hands, trying to contribute. And that would also assist in especially enhancing the education of the children. Because the children will be well taken care of. Because now we are all talking about poverty. School fees are not being paid because of poverty. But women are trying a lot. And if they are encouraged by their partners, be their husbands or whatever, the male partners, I think what we are talking about, it will improve a lot. So this is really what motivated me and what I am still doing.
You mentioned that you had a degree. What did you study? Like
I studied sociology because it's very important. And I studied African history at the time because I was very good in history. I decided to do African history and sociology. And then as soon as I came back, because to have that level of education, it was easy to get a job. As soon as I came back from university, I returned to the Gambia. I didn't stay. I returned when I was, like I said, 22 years old, and I was taken on board by a young woman, an American lady, who was doing a research on those sociocultural effects of tourism in the Gambia, because we are looking at some of those effects of tourism on our culture, and these are still issues on tourism. So we did a research on that, and from there I was picked up by the American Embassy. I worked there for a while, and then the USAID, and that is where I really made an impact. Started to encourage women, because I was responsible for the scholarship program, and I tried to encourage a lot of women to assist them to go to the university to study, because I already had this passion to encourage women, because when women are educated, they can, the sky is the limit for them. Because even the politics we are talking about right now, it is affecting us. We have the National Assembly. We don't have very many women there. Yesterday I was watching TV, somebody else was mentioning it, because it's all lack of education. Our mothers, with this great year companies, they could have become parliamentarians, they could have become prime ministers, they could have got, they were only clapping because of that setback, that lack of education, that lack of awareness. So that is why I have a passion for education, so that women could be educated, women could be given chance to be educated. And also, to tell you, I started work at the age of 16. That's when I started earning my first salary, because I was working for Mr. Sidibe, the National Council, which is now the National Center for Arts and Culture, trying to put artifacts together, still with this assisting to assist my parents, so that I see the struggle they have been making to bring the family together. I thought I would also do something. Yes, so it has to go with hard work, really, for the young ones. It has to go with hard work. You have to study, you have to work hard for your parents, because I still maintain that you still have to help your parents in the household. That shouldn't be an excuse.
Yes, I was just like coming to this point, looking at where you have started, you know, getting involved in women activities, helping them, empowering them. I'm sure that is why we also seen Sobea Training Center. You've come a long way. By that I mean you achieve a lot. But there must be challenges.
Challenges were there. The first challenge, I would say, Chare, you just got married, but I don't want to discourage, scare you.
Okay.
But then you come to that personal aspect, marriage for a woman. See, if a woman is married, she's supposed to take care of the household, just like I was being trained at that younger age, and then child rearing, bearing and rearing of children. Okay, you start. I was fortunate enough to be married at a young age too, because even before I went for my studies, I got married at the tender age of 19. I came back. That's when I started raising a family, and I'm blessed with 5 children. So bringing those 5 children up and having this really hectic work environment, because where I was working at the American Embassy, we closed at 5. We were starting at 7:30 in the morning and having 1 hour break, and then closing at 5, and then coming back to do all those household chores. That's also one big challenge. Then the other challenge is being a woman, trying to get somewhere. You always have stumbling blocks. In those days, I think now we have done a lot. I think we should really, we are not blowing our own trumpets, but we should really highlight that we have done a lot in the fact that men were a bit apprehensive about women coming on board, trying to encourage other women to be educated. And we didn't do only women, because we educated our boys as well. We educated the boys, we educated the girls, and we encouraged them. We wanted to have that gender parity. To bridge that gender gap, we have to acknowledge that there is still this gender gap in all spheres of development. In education, there is a gender gap. Men, you know, are the upper hand. Any field, in politics, in health, especially health. I was just talking about that health aspect, you know, reproductive age. That is also a very serious problem with women. I was telling you that I bought my first car because of that. I was pregnant with my 3rd child and had my 2 children. My husband just dropped me at the clinic and went off to work. So I was on my own with my basket and my other child on my back, the other one I had in my hand, and I was pregnant. So, but I was trying to take a bus at Serakunda Market around that area. And the men were just jumping over me. I could have fallen, or something could have happened to me. I could have even had a miscarriage. So these are the challenges we were facing at that side. And the challenge of even the women, because you don't blame the women that much, but they have not been socialized. You know how women, the way we have been brought up, we have been socialized to believe that it's the men who have to be educated. It is the men who have to be the leaders. It's, you know, it's men who have to. So because of that, the women themselves were not prepared to take on our efforts. They could not understand. Like I said, you don't blame them, because that is the way they have been brought up. So these have been the challenges, and the challenges from the men feeling that we have come